Hi, my name is Brett Jay. I'm the current head football coach at Moses Lake High School. I've been at 4 different schools in the state of Washington. Today we're talking about the power of the pre-practice for wide receivers. It takes exactly about 20 minutes to get through this before practice. Here is our data. I encourage you to pause this. You can take a look at how we've reached our new highs. It's a 17-year high recently. A lot of it has to do with our pre-practice drills. First one's just ladder. Players go through the ladder. They work on it all summer in our strength and conditioning program, but they just work one foot each square. We make sure they catch a ball after each drill. I've quantified the numbers. So in this drill, they will get three footballs a day, and but really the reason why we do this is to get their feet warmed up, get their arms going, just kind of wake them up. It's the first thing they do when they come to practice. Our practices usually start about 4. We're in stretching lines at 3:55, and so we like to get our guys doing their pre-practice right around 3:30. And so we have our 3 coaches, and we just throw them the football. Both wide receivers and running backs are in this. And really, the main thing we're trying to wake up their feet, wake up their arms, but we're also working their catch ability. And we like to preach create the U, thumbs together, not the triangle, but the U, because it relaxes our elbows. I heard that from PJ Fleck a while ago. I thought that was pretty good. And but you can see where some guys, it's just a fundamental skill set that we have to build through repetition and constantly preach fundamentals and the right way to catch a football. And each receiver is at a different stage in that. I just included this as an example. We have a dig route on the outside, but you can see when he finishes the catch, his hands are in the same position. Next drill is our stack drill. This is probably our most important drill we do. Stacking the defender for us is getting on top and getting them on your hip. And so we like to find a line to do this drill. You can see the line that we're working down. We're working on getting better at this drill. It's important for the defender, which is just the receiver's partner, to stay on his hip to make it a contested catch. But we go through 5 different versions of this. The first one is pinkies. It's our pat and go, a version of the pat and go, which we'll do later on in practice. But we want our pinkies together. We want the ball to come over our outside shoulder. But when we stay stacked, that means we're going to stay right there. He kind of overstacks. But we want to make sure we're staying right down that line and we're not fading. Because if we fade, the DB is in a position to knock the ball out. If we stack and stay on that line and get the defensive back on our back hip, now he's got to try to play over the top of us, which is a very tough thing to do. We talk a lot to our quarterbacks about making sure we get a bunch of air under the football. When we get air under the football, now the receiver has some ability to work. The next phase of this drill is same stack, get the guy on your hip, and then we're going to work one-handed catches. And we get multiple one-handed grabs throughout the year. We practice it. But again, this is a progression that we do in our stack drill. So the first one is two hands, ball over the outside shoulder, pinkies together. The second one is a one hand, and then the third drill we're doing right here is a high point. Okay, so we want the ball on a line, and whenever the ball is above our hips and it's on a line, we're gonna create the U. Okay, before that we demand that our receivers use their pinkies and catch the ball over the shoulder. Now, since the ball is above our waist and we're going to, and above our shoulders, we're going to create the U, thumbs together, and we're going to high point the ball. We try to, in our pre-practice, put our receivers in as many different situations or positions as possible, so they can just get comfortable catching the ball in different spots. You can see where they're all partnered up. They go through, okay, here's our back shoulder drill. This would be the 4th phase. So we're just working on getting your eyes on the quarterback throwing the back shoulder, throwing him down. We try to make sure that the receiver doesn't start turning until the ball's in the air. Again, this is kind of a micro of the bigger pat and go drills we do down the road in practice. but it really lets them start to feel their body, start to create that physical skill set of stacking and catching the ball in different positions. So again, pat and go, pinkies together, one hand pat and go. Then we have high point, and now we have back shoulder. We just believe in repetition, get as many reps as possible. This last one we do is a hitch drill, and so the receiver's gonna get even. So when they're even, he's gonna put his hand on his back. He's gonna push them through. Now you can see the other group of receivers kind of came over because they just finished their in and out cone drill. So we have two groups of receivers doing their drills at one time, and it allowed after I think 3 or 4 minutes is what we usually do. They swap, and they get a different drill. But so they got 3 balls in the ladder drill. They're going to get 5 balls here. So their count is up to 8 balls already in pre-practice. Again, this takes about 20 minutes every day just to get our guys developing their skill set. Here's a couple. Here's the first drill we did, which is pinkies together. He gets a nice job of stacking. That's a big third down play. Next up, quarterback does a nice job getting the ball, get a lot of air under it. Receiver goes to work. He pins him, stacks him, and uses his pinkies for a touchdown. Next up, this is the one-handed. So he stacks him. Probably exposes his shoulder a little bit, but does a nice job finishing. Here's our back shoulder throw. Threw him down. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah, here's another back shoulder to our running back who was in those same drills in a big quarterfinal matchup for us. Next up, we have our in and out cone drill. So this drill is going on while we have our stack drill. You can see right next to them. We try to do a different type of cone drill, a different type of angle each day. But, we're working the same movements, shoulders over toes, active arms, working on keeping our feet within our frame, under our frame, and just getting in and out of breaks. Try not to stand up too much. Try not to get too much wasted movement, and then we give them a ball at the end of each drill again, and we're working what we always call it frame tuck. Okay, create the U, balls on a line above your waist, above your shoulders. Create the U, see the frame, and then see the tuck. You can see some guys. Most receivers are all at different spots within route running. This is specifically for a route running. We have both receivers and running backs in this drill. They usually catch about three balls to the right, and then they'll catch 3 balls to the left. So that's 6. They're at 6 footballs in this drill. We said they were at 5 with the stack drill. Okay, so that's 11. We're at 3 with the ladder drill. Okay, so you can see we're at 14 balls through the first 3 drills. And these drills take a total of about 2 minutes for the ladder drill, 4 minutes for the stack drill, 4 minutes for the in and out. So we're sitting at about 10 minutes right here through these first 3 drills. And again, we like to change as Carter does a good job. You can see him running a straight line right here, getting to the next cone as quickly as possible, in and out of the break. A lot of these movements we work in the summertime in our agility day, and you can find those videos as well. But again, shoulders over toes, over exaggerating the arm pump, really ripping that elbow through to get us to that next cone. We're not wanting to round it. You can see some guys that are just beginning in the route running phases. You'll see them kind of round it. We want to get to that next cone with the least amount of wasted space as possible. You can see our quarterbacks over there working to the left too. They get their pre-practice in. Nice little slant drill. You can go back and watch that. Next up, we have our distraction drill. We go to the right and then to the left. You can see we set up pop-ups, have players run, or receivers and running backs run right down the line. First thing they're going to want to do is drift. And we just try to throw the football in as many different places possible. Ball's going to be on a line, so all the receivers should be creating the U with their hands, so thumbs together, creating the U with their hands, relaxing their elbows, seeing the frame, seeing the tuck, and all our coaches, we preach the same things, so players are getting the same message over and over and over. We do believe in just building repetition. They start working on this stuff as early as the winter time. After our strength and conditioning, they can go get the jugs out and start getting balls in then. Then they get to their 7-on-7 in the spring, and then obviously our summer stuff as well. But just working that movement, running as fast as we can. We do a lot of crossing routes, whether you call it a mesh, under, a shallow, and so they get to experience this route often. And so we like to create drills based on what we're doing with our schematics, and try to put players in the same exact position they're in during the game. So they get a ball going to their right, and then they get a ball going to their left. So within this drill, the distraction drill, they're going to get 2 footballs. If they drop a ball, they got 5 push-ups always. Obviously, 5 push-ups is not a lot, but it's just the discipline of getting down, doing your push-ups in, and in all different receivers, running backs are in different places of their ability to catch the football. But we believe catching the football is a skill, a fundamental that can be taught and learned. And so we're gonna keep working at it year round. A lot of the multi-sport athlete guys are further along with catching the football. That's why you get those tight ends that come straight off the basketball court that dominate. They're used to going and getting the ball. So find the line, set your pop-ups up, and hug the pop-ups. Don't drift. We don't want to drift. And then you can see here we got some nice cut-ups of this exact drill in place. Here's an end zone view where you can see the quarterback buying a little bit of time. It turns into a scramble drill, and literally Carter does a nice job of running right down the line flat, and you can see the distractions from the different defenders. Here's a mesh. He just kept running. Same thing. This is one of my favorite ones right here. Is Grant coming across the back of the end zone, and it's the exact same drill. Next up, we have our distraction and settle drill. This is very similar to the air raid drill that they've done for years, but we're just working across the same line, and we're going to have the receiver settle up versus zone. We really want to work. We don't really care where they settle up at, whether it's in the middle of the bags, but we just want them to settle. And then we're really focused on the quarterbacks, which right now is our coaches, but throwing the ball over the shoulder that we want them to turn. And so the receivers have to turn over the shoulder that the ball goes to. Again, they're not wasting space. They're running right across the line. They're going to sprint. The goal is not to drift, right? As soon as we get them to settle up, we want them active hands, beat the drum, shoulders over toes, and to not waste a bunch of space and kind of fade into their settle. We want them to get to that settle as quickly as possible. That's that agility piece, especially the inside receivers working in the middle of the field, start to stop as fast as possible. So they're going to get one ball going to their right. They're going to get another one ball going to their left. But it's getting them to understand man versus zone. Oftentimes we just tell our guys to run, regardless, to clear out for other players. But if you're playing a good spot drop and zone team, this is a great drill to incorporate. We do these drills every single day. The only thing that really changes is our cone drill. We try to work in different angles, different degrees of cuts. But we want our guys to beat the drum, get in a good athletic position. We don't want them standing straight up. And then we don't want them to fade. We don't want them to open up their hips and let a defender come underneath. We want them to box out, be square, show the quarterback your number, and then explode out whichever shoulder the quarterback throws you to. So they get a total of 2 balls in the distraction and settle, and they get 2 balls in the distraction drill. This is right after the cone drill where they got 6 balls there. It's after the stack drill where they got 5 balls there, and the ladder drill they got 3 balls there. Here's a couple clips that I've got for you. You can see where we work the hunt route. He kind of settles up. Quarterback wants him to keep moving. Nice pitch and catch. Next up, we have our high ball, low ball drill. We've been doing this for years. I remember doing this as a player. We just set up the 2 bags as destinations. They run straight downhill at us. We're going to give them a high ball. We want to work that fundamental of going up and getting the football. Hands together. We really want to see their chin, their eyes stay on the football, where their chin will raise, and we can actually see their Adam's apple. We can see their neck. and that's kind of the message to this. The goal is not to give them an easy football. We want this to be difficult, so you can see a lot of footballs hitting the ground. Again, we do this every single day, and I got a clip at the end where you can see us. That the goal is to do a drill and then find during our game film where we're doing that exact same thing, that exact same skill set that we're creating here. Not an easy thing to do. Sometimes we take it for granted. Next up, we have a low ball drill. Same thing. It's an uncomfortable position. We want their pinkies together on this one. Before, their thumbs were together on the high ball. Now their pinkies are together, and they're going to scoop the ball off, we call off the carpet. Make sure their hands stay underneath the football, between the football and the ground. Then we transition into our getting in and out drill. They're going to cut on a 90-degree down the line. We don't want them drifting. The goal is to stay right down the line. Active hands beat the drum. You kind of see where at times we'll get a little stagnant with our arms, which prevents us from getting out of our break. We really want to work getting out of our break here. Quarterbacks, the coaches will throw us pretty hot ball right on them from a short range, just to work that hand-eye, getting their hands right. Ball's on a line, it's above their waist, so we want to make sure that they are creating the U with their thumbs together. See the frame, see the tuck. We say the same things over and over and over. By the time they get to their junior year, they're catching the football very well. It's pretty exciting to watch. So they're going to work to their left, and then they're going to work back to their right the second time through. So in our high ball, low ball drill, they are going to get a total of 4 footballs. Okay, finishing up here our high ball, low ball drill. Receivers are breaking on the line. We don't want them to bow it. We want them to just beat the drum, have overactive hands, throw their inside elbow, and get right down that line. Coaches throw good balls at them. We want it to be from short range, high velocity, and then we're just constantly getting our hands in the right spots. Here's a couple examples of those. Working our scramble drill a little bit here. Receiver calls for a high ball. He throws it high just like the drill. Here's our mesh. Ball's a low ball. Get our pinkies together. Has a nice finish on that as well. This is our out-breaking route by our running back. Just like the drill, just like going through the 2 pads. Gets his hands in the right spot. Has a nice finish. Same thing here with the big bench route on the outside. Okay, next up we have our pre-practice or our goal line versus air. This concludes our pre-practice drill. We just have we line up in our 2x2 formation. Receivers are just running our basic go balls. It's just kind of it's versus air, so they're just working perfect technique, working get off, working destinations, and biggest thing is getting our hand placement right, pinkies together with this first round of go balls. We will get to, let's see, okay, here, this is a back shoulder, just like we've worked all practice. All pre-practice. Now we're working our back shoulder fades. Ball's supposed to be either on our shoulder, high and away, or on our away hip. All 4 coaches are throwing balls. We have our receivers we try to get a 3 deep receiver group. Sometimes it gets into 4s, so that way we can just funnel through, and players just get to the back of their line, and we just keep this thing rolling. We have a high tempo practice. We're getting constant reps. We do believe in the 10,000 hour rule, and once we just start hitting a certain number of reps, players start mastering their fundamental skill set. Now they're working their slants, which is another one of our goal line schemes that we use. We feel that if our routes are run correctly down here and the ball's where it's supposed to be, that we are unguardable. Every time we touch the ball, we're scoring. We build these mindsets into our receivers and our quarterback. But remember, this is pre-practice. So we go from this versus air to coaches pressing to all those things, the whole different progression. This last one is we call it our scissors technique, slant on the outside, corner on the inside. Perfect timing. It's kind of a rub route situation down here in the goal line, and it's just creating these steps. It's creating the timing, all the different skills, so players start doing it subconsciously. I mean, some would consider this form of a walkthrough compared to what we get to towards the end of practice. I like to have this streaming for you so you can kind of see how the flow goes and how we're able to get through, 7 drills, different variations with each drill, all in 20 minutes every single day before we get to our stretching lines. Again, we start this at 3:30. Stretching lines are at 3:55, and at practice actually begins at 4. If players need to stretch more, they can do it on their own before they get into the ladder, which is what started our pre-practice routines. Here is our wheel routes. So again, this is one of our favorites down here on the goal line. It's another way to create a rub. Here's our slant in a playoff game, and this is exactly what we did. There's our back shoulder fade, what we worked earlier. Here's our wheel routes in a quarterfinal game, and lastly, here's that scissor combination we talked about. Thank you.